Okay, hello everyone. Oops. And I'm gonna show you the guide to making an object show on Flash. So, this is how I like. Oh crap, not this again, not this again, not this again. Oh no. Remember, rule number 1, save your work if that happens. Okay, I don't get why this is happening. Adobe Animate's acting kind of weird. But it didn't finish loading it, so... Oh, there it goes. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. So anyway, let's get to making assets. Well, if you want... I'd recommend you make a symbol like F8 and whatever you're going to name your character body. I'm just going to name mine, oh sorry, Discord. Maybe. I'll just say latte for now. Then delete this thing. But I really recommend pressing this and then edit symbols. Don't click edit in place or that won't really work right. So I would make layers if I were you. So you click these to go on layers, you click this to make a new layer, and you click this to delete the layer. Click the layer when I delete, and then press the trash can. So, I would really recommend if you'd use the filter, so that way it looks more like an object show asset. And clicking the snap tool when you're making the lines as well. But don't forget that you have that on or that will become a bit annoying when you're trying to animate it. So anyway, let's say you change your mind if you want a shot glass character. This is how I like it laid out, but lay it out however you want. But here's one thing I won't recommend. Don't do this if you don't want this to happen, because that's really annoying. When this thing happens, this means it'll go between, this means it'll go on another tab, and this means it'll go on another tab here, and vice versa. Alpha means like, whoops, wait, no, that is alpha, my mistake, sorry. A colon 50. When this little grid thing happens, it means it's going a little bit transparent. Add to swatches. Oof. That's one of the other annoying parts of it. Sometimes it doesn't listen. Okay, good. Now turn this back to 100. And make sure you don't have anything selected. This is selected. Make sure that doesn't happen. Okay? Okay. Good. And turn this back to 100, and layers are just necessary if you're like making a character that involves like layering, as if you're making a latte character. You can't just do it all in one layer. I mean, you can, but it won't be very easy, so I recommend you use layering. And since this is vector drawing, you might want to do this. You can delete the stroke after you're done. Okay, I'm gonna go put myself on Do Not Disturb, because this is kind of, annoying the people in the stream, probably distracting them as well. I mean the video, sorry, I forgot I wasn't streaming. Don't you just hate it when you think you're streaming even though you aren't? This thing here, it means like remove, and you can also change the output here as well. Change the alpha a little bit, change it all the way back up. You do not need a drawing tablet to animate object shows, but you can if you can't draw really good with a mouse. Though I have a drawing tablet myself. But what I'm saying basically is you don't really need a mouse to draw good object show assets. Okay, and please be sure to save your work. Whoops, I revealed my real name. Like, it's right here, and I recommend you would put your character bodies in another folder. Like, you can just right click and click new folder, or you can just press this. I am using Windows, and I think this is a Windows tutorial. I don't have a Mac computer, and plus I don't think I know how to use one right in the first place. Because, you know me, I despise Macs. I despise them so bad, but let's talk about that in another video, okay? Let's try not getting off topic. I have ADD though, so I can't really help it much. This is just a way I like animating with object shows. Let's just get the assets. Like I got a whole bunch of assets and bunched them together to get the arm asset. Make a new layer for the arm. You don't have to do this. Oh, jeez. Excuse me. Make sure it is not on loop. By the way, if you just do this, right click, insert frame, you'll find there's something wrong with the arm. It's because you didn't set it to single frame. Be careful. But if your character doesn't have arms, this layer isn't necessary. If you want, you could lock the body layer by pressing this and press it again to unlock it. No, I already have this on single frame, but if this is loop right here, and if you can't find the frame picker, go to Window, and then find frame picker right here. Click it. Click all of these here. These are necessary for animating object shows. Well, if you're new to Flash, of course. Okay, here is the right kind of placing assets, and here is the wrong kind of placing assets. I don't know why it does that. Do not do this. Do not do this. Do it like this. It looks more professional and a lot better. Because that kind of bothers me. Since it just might have just a tiny bit of OCD, maybe, I don't know. But I'm not diagnosed with OCD, so I don't. So. But that still annoys me a lot, though. I already have this on single frame. Copy. Paste. Oh, and here's another tip. You can press Ctrl-Shift-V to paste it in the same place. Then make another layer for the mouth. You don't have to do this. By the way, do not do this either. Because it just looks like the very first episode of Animate Insanity. The first episode of Music Insanity was a lot worse. Don't be mad, Animation Epic. Okay, now that you have your character done, here's how you create an audio file. Oh crap, I just realized this wasn't converted into a symbol. Oh, I hate it when this happens. It's okay, everyone makes mistakes. If you're making an animated, like a puppet animation is what I like calling it, turn it into a graphic. If it's a character asset, make it into a movie clip. But this is not a character asset. I'll just call it Shot Glass 1. That's what I personally like calling it. And delete all of this chicken scratch. Unless if you need that many layers and keep them, I guess. Like, you can't tween this. It's right. If you don't put it in a symbol, and it'll be a little bit stressful, so I'd really recommend not putting them all outside of a symbol. Symbol's basically like a folder to keep all of your stuff organized other than a layer folder. Oops. Okay, my apologies for that stupid error. But if you're gonna add an audio file to it, Like, let's say if I wanted to make a music video, you can find your audio file. Like, this song's like a few minutes long, but I'm just gonna put it up to 27 seconds because I'm lazy. You can basically make it like scenes inside of a scene. Well, normally I do my music videos all entirely in one scene. By the way, X Gaming is helping me finish the scene. Shout out to him. Subscribe to him. X Gaming 196. Oof. Okay, back to the video. So, I'll create another layer called sound. This is not necessary, you don't have to name the layer. And I would import it and make it go up to 27 seconds. Please make sure the actions look right. And if you don't know the lyrics, search up the lyrics. Like, sorry, I was making a random asset earlier. Cartoon, why we lose lyrics. Like, you can just Google it if you don't know the lyrics of a song. Like Diamond Eyes Flutter. By the way, this tutorial might be up to an hour long, but it's worth watching it anyway. There are also close-eye assets. By the way, I'll put the BFDI assets in the description and the FLA file itself in the description, or some of my other FLA files. You're probably wondering, how did you get this thing to happen? Because my thing is round. Like, if you have it on round, it will not look that professional, so I would recommend the Milter. It looks better. But do it however you want, it's okay. Like, let's say if I wanted to make his head up here, and wanted to make him go down here. But you don't want to do frame by frame, because it's tiring and it will take forever. So I'll press Create Classic Tween, and note, make sure these are on separate layers. You can do the same with the arms too, because it'll look just a little bit more lifelike. This is slow movement animation. This is on 24 frames per second, but if you're doing with 60 frames per second, this will be a little bit of different rules, but just do it 24 frames per second until you get used to Adobe Animate CC. Like, if it's slow, you make it over 1 second. If it's just a quick little animation, it'll be like this long. But I'll make it up to 1 second. Turn on onion skin, that also helps as well. By the way, Object Start Point is coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. Like, you can make these a little bit longer if you want. That's how you make, like, dropping arms, like how Lego Boy NJ or other people do it. Okay, back with the tutorial. I woke up at freaking 3:45 a.m. I took melatonin last night, but for some reason it made me wake up this early. And normally I don't wake up that early. Surprisingly, some people are online who live on the other side of the world where they get up that early as well. Why am I getting off topic? Okay, I hate my ADD, because that ends up happening. Like, if you don't, like, you can add a keyframe if you're gonna tween this. Like, if you want to make him look like he's falling, there's also an asset for that as well. Wait a second. Oops. Oh no. Okay, crap. Sorry for cursing. I did not mean to do that. My apologies. My sincere apologies. Like, I'm pretty sure the time span is about 2 or more seconds. Yeah, it's more than 2 seconds. 2.5 seconds. Like, you can press Control Enter to see what your animation looks like. Or, oh yeah, here's another tip. If you animate it and it's on event, start or stop, put it on stream. And do not touch this. Because stream, you don't have to start all the way from the beginning to watch your animation. And plus, if you don't enable stream and you just enable event, this happens. And lip syncing, it won't end up being right. So stream is a bit more precise and a bit more right. By the way, like, let's say if you wanted to make a shot glass body that changed color, then you'd have to turn this into a graphic. I recommend not making many of your character bodies graphics, because if you want to make like a blur effect, it won't really work right. Like, let's say if I wanted to change it to pink. Oh yeah, another thing. Press copy frames, paste frames. Paste in or right, please. Or it won't work that right. And like if you distort it, it will also do this. But I'd recommend not really distorting it because it will look weird. Now I have a cool shot glass body. And the reason why I have history is because, like, if you delete something on accident and you save it, like the entire thing, and it's not in the library, it's not really a good thing. So that's why I have history open. Plus I did something pretty idiotic with Steam too. I deleted something if I didn't save it yet, and I technically did after I deleted it, so I reopened the file and I completely lost it forever, and the history doesn't go back that far. So I was like, oh no, I can't animate this entire scene again, and I was actually crying because I spent all day on that animation from morning to like 8 p.m. all flipping down that animation. Hey, why is there a keyframe here? Clear a keyframe to remove a keyframe. Remove classic tween to remove a classic tween. Remove shape tween to remove shape tween. You don't really need motion tweens. I used to use them, but I personally don't really need them. Because just animating with keyframes is easier. If you want, I could show you what a motion tween looks like. You press insert keyframe, and insert another keyframe. Motion tweens don't work like that. Plus, if you already have a classic tween, that happens. That's the other thing that annoys me a lot, so I don't use motion tweens anymore. Okay, so that is basically the basics of animating with an object show, and you're probably thinking, hey, what about the lip sync? Lip sync, I'd recommend doing the motion first, and then the lip sync. Or you could just tween it, like so. Like, if it's just a tiny bit off, you can move it as well. You can move the keyframes. Like right here. what I did is I pressed Control Scroll on my mouse. I use a Windows computer, but I don't know about Macs. Mac computers, I don't know if this will actually work right for Macs, but I'm pretty sure most of it will work. And here's how to create a blink animation as well. You click eyes closed, and then the eye you are on again. And then if you want to continue the blink, you could press copy frames, paste, and overwrite frames. Oof. Ow, crap. Okay, this annoys the crap out of me. And also, do not do this in a tween. That would also mess it up. So just either leave it or redo the tween. And FYI, this is the Object Terror intro. I'm not trying to do plagiarism here. Sorry. So that's basically how you lip sync. Oof. I hate it when this happens. And this looks just a tiny bit off. I can fix that as well, just by making the arms just a little bit smaller. Make sure the keyframes aren't that far apart, just a quick motion. Oof. Okay, I've been up for 3 hours already and I'm already tired. And my suffering. And there we go. You have a good lip sync. And if you want, you could finish animating this if you want to try out Flash yourself. But Flash, you have to buy, sadly, but it's a really good object show animator. That's the sad thing. But it's worth the money. Don't touch any of this, don't touch the output, don't touch any of this technical stuff because you might mess it up really bad. Plus, if you export as a movie clip, it won't work right. The frame picker, it won't show up if you have it as a movie clip. See? No frame picker. It's annoying. Don't do that. By the way, that's about it for this tutorial. Bye!